Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General Yohanna is putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheraton in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the convention center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time sending curses to them enemies.
This is amazing.
I don't know you. I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch with Commanding General Yohanna, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he made man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
You don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
Rocking and rolling, we up. I can't see it. We good to go? We up. Most High in Christ. Clap it up, Hakim. Let's get it on. We're holding it down here tonight, man. Commanding General Yohanna will be here on deck very shortly. Until he gets here, we'll hold it down. We have General I.S.U.P.K. Give him a hand. Mike Allah. General Hazayan. Officer, come on. Marah, Officer Yediah, let's go. We're holding it down here tonight. We'll hold it down for Commanding General Yohanna, man. He'll be here shortly. What are we going to talk about? You know what we're going to talk about. The Chinese spy balloons. The aliens they shot down today. My phone ringing off the hook, my because they shot down aliens. Did they shoot down the aliens? Were the aliens shot down this week? What you're hearing, let me comfort your little sweet soul. Our oppressor did not shoot down any aliens, baby girl. But what you're hearing about is the beginning of the Third World War. And the Third World War is always disguised by fighting aliens. It's been like this since the 50s. We'll explain it tonight, all right? We'll go over that. We'll go over Valentine's Day. We'll go over all of the news stories. We'll get on the Grammys, the Super Bowl, whatever you want to talk about, Yediah, let's get it. Let's begin.
Concert. Brett Favre sues auditor, sportscasters, and defamation case.
I heard about this. Break this down, Yediah.
So Brett Favre decided to, to sue Shannon Sharp and Pat McAfee in general, you know what I mean, for defamation, because they were the ones that actually brought up that he stole all those millions of dollars and broke the stories when everybody else was quiet about it.
Yeah, Brett Favre has been to the Donald Trump school of stopping people from talking about him. And this is what Donald Trump does. Donald Trump sues everybody that says a damn word against him ever. And in that way, he believes he has people in fear of ever speaking against him. But of course, Brett Favre stole money from poor people in Mississippi. Poor people, poor Israelites and poor Edomites. He stole their money. The state of Mississippi, brother, is one of the poorest states in America. You got Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky. Those people are what they used to call dirt poor, Mayak. Dirt poor. Brett Favre, because of his cronyship with the governor, with the former governor of Mississippi, took money allocated to poor people and spent it on making, I think, a tennis court at his daughter's school. And he was able to give himself the credit for it, if you don't mind, whenever you read it. If you you got to do this, don't sweat it. If we can with someone else, I'll take it, all right? All right. And he went and did, and now was able to get his name to have the Brett Favre tennis court because of money that never came out of his pocket, but money that the governor gave to the school in the name of Brett Favre. That is disgusting greed. Disgusting. And so many of you people in America, you don't understand that is how America really works. That's how it works. You think you're better than Bolivia and Colombia and Haiti and third world countries. You're not. You just have more money to squander. You just have more resources to pollute and to plunder and to steal from the poor. But you're no different than Haiti, no different than Guatemala or Colombia or some third world country. But what you do have are resources that those countries don't possess. And that's that. So now Brett Favre is suing Shannon Sharp and some other oppressor. What's his name? Pat McAfee, because they went and read the news story. Damn, it's on the news, man. He sued them for reading the news story. They didn't do any investigation on their own. They went to the Associated Press and read the news story. And he's suing them. And of course, it will make them do what? Hire lawyers. It's going to cost money. Getting sued, I'll tell you many times, brother, at my work, I'd rather get in a shootout than get sued, Mayak. I'll tell you that right now. I'm telling you straight up. A shootout is like more temporary. Maybe, I might get you, you might get me in a shootout. But a lawsuit, I don't like none of that, Mayak. Commandant General Yohanna strengthens me against that because I would much rather get in a shootout at camp than get sued. Why? Because even if you win, it costs $100,000. If you win it, if you defend yourself, the thing costs $100,000. So now Pat McAfee and Shannon Sharp, brother, have got to pay somebody probably $1 million, and I'm not exaggerating. They got to pay lawyers because you need defense to go to court. So now you got to pay some, I was going to say shyster, unless that's racially insensitive, you die. Let's say shyster from now. Well, can we say shyster? Some shyster, $1 million for a lawsuit that's getting thrown out in a year. But it doesn't make it cheaper, Mayak. It still costs $1 million, even if you win. It's a terrible thing. And Donald Trump does this every day. And Donald Trump teaches people to watch their mouth about him. He sues everybody. And of course, what's his name? What's the cat we talking about? What's his name? Brett Favre is a fan of Donald Trump. I don't doubt it if we'll find out later that Donald Trump told him to sue them. We'll find this out later. Marak, can you read them? Maya, can someone read? Go ahead, you dad. Go grab him. Go ahead.
Okay. Same story, right?
Same story.
Okay. From the top. Retired NFL quarterback Brett Favre. He filed lawsuits.
We're done with that one. I'll take the next one.
Okay. Turkey earthquake. Live updates. Death toll passes 33,000 in Turkey and Syria.
Oh my God, that's plenty. Death toll passes 33,000 people. I had some precepts on this. too. Just remind me. I'll give them to you if you need them.
Yeah.
But that's 33,000 people dead in Turkey. I believe that land of Turkey at one time was called, in the Bible, I think it's Galatia.
Okay.
Right? That's the land of Galatia that Paul went to go speak in and raise up the school in Galatia. And later on, the book of Galatians, Maya.
Right next door to Cappadocia. Biblical land.
All those biblical lands. Well, Greeks control that land now. And if I'm also not incorrect, I believe those are the same Greeks that oppressed us during the book of the Maccabees, the first and second Maccabees, which is where we get the day of remembrance called Hanukkah from. Those Greeks that destroyed us and polluted our temple, and Antiochus in them. That's correct. Polluted our temple, attempted to force us to eat pork, swine's flesh, and then murdered us if we refused. Hold on one second. That's a good coffee. That's those same Greeks. And once again, the Most High, brother, he's slow to give justice, but when it comes, he makes up for the time. He makes up for the time. The whole world is going to be saddened about the 30,000 people killed in Turkey this week. What you better understand is this. If you don't repent and change your ways, one day people will be sad about you. One day everyone will mourn you. One day the news will say, oh, the death toll rises on your block, in your neighborhood, in your country. That's the real lesson to learn from God's judgment over there in Turkey. Because it's another thing to be sad. I understand that. A lot of children died in Turkey, Haas. Women buried under rubble. The husband is, with his bare fingers, bloody fingertips, pushing back rocks, trying to find his child under the rocks. It's taking so long, day and night. He doesn't go to sleep. He doesn't leave. The police are telling him leave. He won't leave because his daughter is under those rocks. And that's a terrible thing that happened in Turkey, y'all. And I feel sorry for all of the Turkish people that lost loved ones and 30,000 people died in your land. That's horrible. It's so terrible. It's so horrible that I don't want it to happen to me. So I'm going to turn to the Lord, my God, I can change and repent. I remember years ago, Yediah, we went out. You remember that, Mayak and Haas? Yeah. Hurricane Katrina. We're out on the street, and Hurricane Katrina, I think like 5,000 people died. Am I wrong about that? Look that up. I don't remember. But it was so many people that died, brother. And we went out the street that week talking to blacks and Hispanics, telling them to repent, to change, to let the fear of God become wisdom in their mind. They didn't hear us. And Commander GEN.YAHANNA told them, you might not hear us now, but will you hear us when the water gets to here? Yeah. Or will you hear us when the water gets to here? Or will you hear us when the water gets to here? How long will it be until you hear prophets warning you so that you're not the next person that everyone is sad over? You're sad right now over Turkey. I'm sure your Facebook posts say, pray for Turkey. Do you want somebody to pray for you? Is that what you want? I try to live my whole life to never need prayers, Haas. That's how I live my life. I don't want no goddamn prayers. I want to pray for somebody else. I don't want a damn soul ever. Oh, pray for behind me. No, fuck F that. Don't pray for me. I'll pray for you, nigga. Don't pray for me. I'll come to your house because you prayed and God sent me. I'm the answer to prayers. I don't want no effing prayers. Well, to not get people to pray for you, you got to live a certain way for that. All right, but if you want to eat pork and octopus, you might need prayers, huh? Scrimp. You love scrimp, you might need prayers one day. You might need a lot of candles lit for you, right? Because you love scrimps, and you love murder, and you love cocaine, and you love marijuana, and you love to get high. So one day, we might all need to pray for you. That's the lesson to learn from Turkey, Haas.
If I could, can I get Jeremiah 26, 12, and 13 real fast, brother? real quick for everybody. What GEN.YAHANNA bringing out the water, sir. What GEN.YAHANNA bringing out is so heavy. You better take heed of what the Lord is saying. Don't play with the Most High, because while the Lord afflicted them with the earthquake over there, over here we getting afflicted with what? Gun violence. You know what I mean? All the diseases that we got out here. You understand? You better not play around with the Most High, man. Like, you got a shot to change your life. What does that mean? It means stop doing what you want to do and do what the Lord say do. You know what I mean? If you're a so-called black, Hispanic, Native Indian, you are part of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, and you got a way to live. You can't just do what you want to do and live how you want to live. It don't work that way. You understand? And you wonder why you can't stop the things going on with us, because you want to do what you want to do. But God got an answer for a man or a woman who want to do what they want to do. You understand? I didn't say children, because the children are going off of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. They see you and they doing what you do. Mm-hmm. That's what's going on with the kids. Now, you got a scripture for me, brother? Read.
Jeremiah chapter 26 and verse 12. Then spake Jeremiah unto all the princes and to all the people, saying, the Lord sent me to prophesy against this house.
The Lord sent the I.S.U.P.K to prophesy against this house. GEN.YAHANNA said something heavy. I think all of y'all missed it. When he said, when you pray, the Lord sent me. You understand? The Lord sent the I.S.U.P.K to answer your prayers, to get you right. Now you got to listen to what we telling you. You got to do what the prophets are saying now. It's that time. Go ahead.
Sir. And against this city, all the words that ye have heard.
Go ahead.
Verse 13. Therefore, now amend your ways.
The word amend means change. Mm-hmm. Change the way you are. Change the way you act. Change what you're doing. Go ahead.
And your doings, and obey the voice of the Lord your God.
When you obey the Most High, means you're going to do what he say do. It ain't just you saying, okay, I love the Lord, I'm going to do this, he do. No, you got to show it. And you show it with your actions. You can act like you love the Lord in front of all of us, right? Like, okay, I love the Lord, right? But when you go home, you an evil goddamn monster. No. You got to show it when you ain't around everybody. When you by yourself, dealing with what you're dealing with, you got to be righteous then too as well. Go ahead, brother.
And the Lord will repent him of the evil. That
of the what?
Of the evil.
The Bible said he will repent him of the evil. You better stop playing with the Most High. He giving you a shot to change and to stop doing what you want to do. He said, if you do that, I'm not going to give you what the hell I was going to give you. Like, I had something waiting for you. You want to keep doing what you're going to do? I got you. I got something for you. But if you stop and do what I say do, I'm not going to give you what I want to give you. And what you deserve for the evil you're doing. Read it again, brother.
Sir. And the Lord will repent him of the evil that he had pronounced against you.
That's the power you serve, man. That's the power that gave us the name Israel. That's the power that chose us. You understand me? You do what he say do, and the evil that he had against you for being disobedient, he ain't going to give to you. That's why he said, change your ways.
Mike, was it something else?
Yeah, if I could comment, both of y'all bringing out something heavy, because, like you said, in the I.S.U.P.K, we're the answers for prayers, and been saying that for a while. You understand? Yeah, right. But the problem with you Christians and Christian-hearted Israelites and Christian-hearted Muslims, because we know what your heart really is. Yeah. You Muslims, you celebrating Christmas just with the rest of the Christians. You pray and pray and pray, and you mamas, you cry and pray to God when you lose a son or family member, or when things is hard in your life. You cry and you pray to the Most High. Then when God answers your prayers, you say, y'all talk about white people too much. Why y'all sound so angry? Why y'all out here on the corner? Don't you got a job? In other words, when the Lord answers your prayers, you ignore it. You ignore that. And that's in the Bible too, man. When Lazarus was the rich guy was the parable that Christ taught about. You know what I'm saying? When a rich guy, he wanted somebody else to be sent. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Lord, what can you send? I think he said, what, your son? What can you send your son or a prophet to tell the people and warn them? I know I didn't get it. I didn't understand. But can you send your prophets or your son to warn the rest of the people? And the king told the guy, I'm paraphrasing.
You right. Go ahead.
Told the guy, even if I sent my son, they would not believe. You understand? And that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? The Lord sent Christ. He was the fulfillment of all those prophecies of everything the nation of Israel had been waiting for and had been taught through the scrolls, all them generations. And now he finally here fulfilling all those prophecies, and Israel didn't hear him. Yeah. Israel didn't even hear him. We in 2023, same thing going on. I.S.U.P.K on them streets. We doing debates, and we doing seminars. We holding the biggest, most super glorious Passovers you ever want to hear about. And a lot of you Christian Israelites, I'm hearing a lot of things about you lately. It ain't time to bring it out yet. You understand? But I'm hearing a lot of things you doing to try to hide us from the world on purpose, because we are to answer the prayers. A lot of you ignore us when we come to you. When the Lord answering your prayers, you ignore the answer from God. And some of you hide the answer to prayers. Some of you hide. You see the answer to everybody's prayers, and you try to hide it or defame it or cover it up. It's going to be a lot of people answering for a lot of blood, man. Yeah, and the Lord going to require it. It's like it.
That's it.
That's it, sir.
Let's keep going. So that's the lesson to learn from the death toll in Turkey. Over 33,000 people dead. Everyone praying for Turkey. Maybe you'll be the next one everyone prays for. Next.
Flint residents under citywide boil water advisory after water main break.
All right, Flint cannot catch a break. God damn. Shout out to the brothers down there. Officer Hadar Yala down there in Detroit. Give him a hand. I believe he's also in charge of Flint, Michigan. I mean, my God, Flint, Michigan. Good Lord. What happened in Flint now? Everyone knows that Flint, Michigan was at the center of exposing how terrible the water is to the Black and Hispanic community in America, to the entire world, because the water in Flint, Michigan was undrinkable. You could not drink it. It came out of the faucet black like damn coal, my yak. And you couldn't drink any of the water in Flint, Michigan. You still can't drink any water in Flint, Michigan, and your water bill is still coming to your house every month. That's the thing I don't understand. All of this politics nonsense of politics. You got to vote, and you got to vote, and you got to get involved with the voting and the Congress and the city council. Flint, Michigan is still getting water bills with water that if they drink it, they'll die. And they still get a water bill every damn month to get water that they cannot drink at all. Let's read about it. Come on.
Khan. Residents of Flint, Michigan are facing yet another issue with the city's embattled water system.
Go ahead.
Flint announced a citywide boil water advisory after a water main broke Friday morning, causing the pressure of the entire city system drop below safe levels. Can you imagine the amount of neglect that has happened in these inner cities with all of the voting and all of the money? All of the money. Who do you think makes more money, the inner city or some rural area out somewhere in the middle of the woods? They're making no money out there. But the inner city is producing money, millions and millions of dollars every damn year. I mean, in the hundreds of millions of dollars every year. And the water is cleaner in a place that produces no money for the state. It gives the state no money. When the inner city is where all the money comes from in the state. And yet you still can't get the smallest services. Water, which is the smallest service, being neglected since the 1940s. The 1950s with lead pipes, deteriorating lead pipes. No one fixes them. No one cares. You have so many groups in Detroit and in Flint, Michigan that have been protesting this since the 50s. Since the 50s, giving it the God's effort protesting and trying and getting the signatures for, what's that thing they got to get signatures for? All the damn time. Petition. Getting all of the petitions. Standing in front of the mayor's office. Trying and fighting with men to solve a problem that God can only fix.
trying to get the mayor to fix a problem that God can only fix, the governor, the president to fix a problem that only God can fix. And you fought and you fought and you fought, and you know, I salute you for it, but it is completely ineffective. It doesn't work at all because God can only fix this problem.
And you would think we would know by now that they can't fix your problems, because at the end of the term, when it's time for them to go, what do they all say? Just if you give me more time, we've been working on it. We've done a lot of things, passing this bill and that bill. If you just give me more time, I know I can make it work. They asked you for another election, having done nothing.
That's all.
Giving you the hope and dream that you give me 2 years, more years, or 4 more years, I'm going to show you I'll do it. And we go to the ballot in more hopes and more dreams, making the same mistakes.
Haas.
You know, they so right, and it's why we talked about earlier. It's so important, because if you don't change, man, more of this is gonna happen. Like, why we gotta keep going with this here? If you got the Christian pastor, how come he ain't praying to the Lord to change the situation over there, you know? The Christian pastor on every corner in Flint, Michigan. You got Muslim mobs that bang your head 5 times a day, the black down on your head. How come Allah ain't changing it for you? They can't. That's why. Like how GEN.YAHANNA brought out, the politicians ain't working. The religious institutions not working. Why? None of them are of God. And God created this mess, and God can fix it. He's doing it because you are not doing what he say do. That scripture is very real when he says amend your ways. He wants you to change. If you don't change, you got evil waiting for you. That's it. That's all I can say.
I mean, and who's the governor of Michigan? I believe is that Whitmer. Look that up, Yediah Murad Whitmer.
That's the one I think they tried to kidnap.
That's the one they tried to kidnap. That
bitch,
Whitmer
yeah.
of Michigan is going to be president or vice president or in the president's staff. She's a rising star. Oh yeah, Governor Whitmer. She has high profile in America, and before you know it, for the next Democratic president, she's going to be a vice president or chief of staff or secretary of state. She has extremely high profile.
But you know how she got that high profile, if I can ask you, sir?
Please.
When people in her constituents don't have clean fucking water.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So don't that fall on her?
You would think, right?
Yeah.
You would think that would mean she doesn't get high profile. She's not a presidential hopeful. Somehow, how's it doesn't matter though.
I know, because that's how they rock.
Yeah, that's somehow is irrelevant, right? Yeah. So it's irrelevant that Flint has no water. And if I could all week out, does anyone know my phone constantly gives me videos of some Flint, Michigan councilman called Mays? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's just my phone. My phone is always giving me some cat named Councilman Mays, who is a city councilman, I think, of the 1st district in Flint, Michigan. And he yells at oppressors in these meetings and loses his mind. And he's going crazy in there because he can't fix the problem of Flint, Michigan. Give me this. Give me Councilman Mays in Flint, Michigan. You have got to see these stories, Mayak and Haas. You've got to see him. This cat is in there yelling and cursing and trying to get them to stop taking all the money and spending it and squandering it and stealing it to give it to Flint. And he's going buck wild crazy in the council meetings of Flint, Michigan. He got arrested like 3-4 times. They just lock him up, put him in jail, give him an ankle monitor, and he comes right back and keeps doing it. And when I watch him, I go, this is what you'd have to go through if you thought this was the only way to solve the problems of Black people and Hispanics in Flint. It can't be solved. If you try to solve it, you'll go crazy. Look at people like Famie Lou Hetmer. What's her name? Famie Lou Hetmer. Somebody type it in the chat room. Some sister, man, back in the 60s was fighting for better housing and better water. And Famie Lou, look up her damn name. I forget her name. Famie Lou Hammer. Yeah. I mean, woo, she was fighting up. Going to the Congress. Tell me about Famie Lou Hetmer while they give me names.
There you go. He was right there, sitting right there talking about.
Give me the best of him when he in city council. Oh, he getting it on fighting in Flint, Michigan. If you want to play this one, it's like 100 of them. Yeah. with him just arguing and fighting and getting it on. Give me him in the council meetings.
They had one of them. He was sitting there talking to the cops. The ladies
Oh, is it? Yeah, these one. Play this one right here, Mike House. Watch this. Oh my God, it's a mess.
There you go.
How's he getting locked up every time he go in there? I feel sorry for the brother, because you know his heart is in the right place. Yeah. He knows they're stealing the money that's set aside to fix the water, but they're stealing it, and they're giving it to the other nations who are going to build hotels and put the money in things that make more money, and not put the money into fixing the water. And he just start yelling and cursing and screaming, I can get arrested, and that's that. Whenever you're ready, Mariah, you might want to look up the best of his name. Can they hear it online or? No. I can play it. If you don't mind.
No, I ain't going away. We don't want this is the city I was born in. You here agitating. This is the city I was born in. I'm not going away because y'all want to be disrespectful. I'm not going nowhere. Y'all disrespectful, you're ignorant, and it's a fact. You're the truth.
Give me the best.
I'm trying to defend the office of the president. Yes. The legal counsel is refused as legal counsel.
6-0 no. The vote is 6-0 no.
Removed as president after another heated meeting, Flint City Council President Eric Mays voted out, shaking up the city council.
The decision came after a lengthy meeting with 6 council members voting in favor of
Herkenroder, reflecting on Monday's meeting that resulted in Councilman Eric Mays being voted out as president.
The behavior that has been shown by
I could, Mariah. You're not giving me the best of
absolutely.
Eric Mays. You got to type in that word.
Is he the cat? I saw a video guy looking like him. He's sitting in one video, and it's a police officer at the podium talking in another video, and he said, "Officer, have you heard about the news station where the booths had done all this crime and this and that?" He said, "Well, I disagree with what you're saying. You acting like it happened."
Yes.
But he said, "When you need to check yourself," he said, "Well, name me one thing I done did wrong since you're trying to defame me and ruin my character. You got the mic. Go ahead. Yes. Oh, you're quiet now."
He's excellent. I mean, he's trying his best now. He's trying his best. But he's just getting locked up every damn week. He's trying his best because he knows they're stealing all the damn money. They're getting oral sex in the cop cars. Everything is happening. He's trying to fight it, but you can't fight this thing that only God can fight.
Yeah.
Having a political solution to a spiritual problem is foolish. It's just you're just good-hearted, but you're naive. You don't understand it. You can't find a mirror, right? Go ahead and play that.
What the fuck is going on?
Music is terrible.
Because when you keep saying what you know, that's when I'm going to sue you personally. Talking about what you know. You don't know nothing. Now, my position is this. I want everybody from this day forward to remember when I talk about Kate Fields, I'm reacting to her nastiness. I'm never going to stop. When I talk about Eva Worthing, who runs with Kate Fields, it's going to be reacting to their nastiness. That's how I'm going to operate. Miss Fields is nasty. You nasty. You's a nasty woman.
Point of order.
What's your point?
He's like, yeah, I still look at it. Yeah,
Mr. Mays cannot use that type of
done it.
Name calling.
Councilman, can you
okay,
from that?
She's a nasty fourth ward council person. Now that's in her professional capacity. She done talked about me like a dog.
I understand.
And I told you she couldn't take it. She's the nastiest elected official sitting on this council that I know in her official capacity. You're a nasty official council person. She did a point of order. Okay, I'll wait.
No, but I want you to go ahead and move. Let's go.
Let me say this, Mr. President. I'm not going to quit. Until she quit being nasty in her official capacity, she's a nasty elected.
Point of order.
Point of order.
Must be removed if he
No,
persists in calling me names.
I want
It's hilarious. Keep playing him around.
you removed for saying you know that I'm breaking the law, and that's illegal.
Councilman Mays, hold on. I want you to. I would like you to indulge me.
I know you would like.
Please.
I wanted her to indulge us and quit making illegal accusations in her elected seat. Anybody who say what they know.
Verbal attacks on her, counsel. She can't. Yeah.
Mr. Mays, you're not handling this correctly.
Okay, we fixing to proceed. I done gave you 2-3 warnings. Mr. Booth, Sergeant Booth, in the old days, she would be gone. But I wanted to stay here. I wanted to continue to try to make this council look like something that I want to allow it to be, and I'm going to continue to highlight her. And then anybody on this council that think that I wasn't doing right in the opening statements, raise your hand. It should be one hand up, you, Miss Fields. And so now this is what I'm going to say. Miss Fields, you out of order. You ain't got the flow. Okay, well, let me say this, since you want to say I do have a flow. You talking about black folks now being funny? Mr. Booth, can you come forward? Miss Fields, I'm going to ask you to be removed if you keep making fun of black folks. I have got the flow. And you out of order? And you're starting to do that nasty stuff, and I'm not going to put up with it, and you're not going to make this city look stupid, because you sure can't make me look stupid. You fool with me, you going to look stupid. Now let us get on with this appeal. And don't interrupt me no more with no points or orders when I'm trying to give my initial statements as it relates to the appeal. Now I'm going to start over. She appealed a ruling that I couldn't speak to Mr. Griggs, and you can't. And I said, Robert's rules allow you to go pros and cons, and I can talk to any council member.
Oral sex, my God.
And I know why she probably did it.
Right there.
Purpose. I treat people nice until people act a fool. I'll be voting yes to support the chair on your first warning. Don't care who do and who don't.
Let's go a little bit more.
I'm glad to say to you publicly what I said. Cut the crap. What I want you.
Fast forward.
Absentee now. This community got to practice in August to get ready for November. Personal text, I'm going to go up one side and down the other. She out of order. So do y'all.
Your last eye. You
don't give me no that. Look, Miss Galway, I can go home.
I remove you from.
I'm out the cuffs. I'm out the cuffs. I'm out the cuffs. I'm out the cuffs. Leave me. No, you remove.
You're removed.
Then I want to see you do it. You go with that mess. Every word I say, talking to him or whatever, this is a setup. Y'all been trying to do it because of that lawsuit.
I want the record to show that Mr. Chief Johnson and none of the police officers are willing to allow your lawlessness.
You lawless. Don't accuse me. We'll be in court. You lawless.
You're lawless.
You a dictator.
Has nothing to do with the fact.
I don't appreciate your personal attacks. You out of order again. Remove yourself.
Madam Clerk, please.
Remove yourself.
As best as you can in the disruption.
Remove yourself. I was talking to him and them. You out of order. Way out of order. Your motion fails. It wasn't but you didn't vote to remove me. You talk to her and you talk to her outside of me. Your butt gonna be removed.
Right there. Let me see what that was.
I am not going to allow.
Right there.
You should.
That's when the cops came. There's a whole mess. He gets arrested like 3-4 times on this thing, right?
Well, then let me proceed.
He's not done.
He accused the police department. Anyway, this is what's his name again? Eric Mays. This is City Councilman Eric Mays of Flint, Michigan. And he's a good example of a good-hearted, courageous brother who is trying to convince man to stop a problem that only God can stop. And we have a history of so many of them. Chavez out there with the Mexicans, brother, who started the labor movement in the fields for the Mexicans, La Raza, out there in the fields of California, man. And he had such a good heart and tried so hard to get man to solve a problem that only God can solve. Che Guevara out there in Colombia, in Cuba, right? And in Bolivia, when he went over there to try to have a revolution in Bolivia, trying to convince man to stop a problem that only God can start. Mary Lou Hamer out here in the South, in America. So many different congressmen, and you know their names, and we talk about them, some of them every Black History Month, right? Famous black people and famous Hispanics who tried to fight the political fight. And in the end, their legacy is fighting. And that's that. They have no legacy of winning, no legacy of victory, no legacy of lifelong changes at all. We're just still here fighting the battle of Al Sharpton and Mary Lou Hamer and the civil rights leaders. We're still fighting the cops. We're fighting Bull Connor. Go look him up. Bull Connor was a police chief in Alabama that Martin Luther King specifically picked this city because he knew Bull Connor was the sheriff over this city. And he knew that if they marched in Bull Connor's territory, they would be beaten. And he wanted to get video of Black people being beaten who were peaceful. He wanted video of Black people being beaten who were in a peaceful march. And he knew that Bull Connor would beat them. And he had a march in Bull Connor's territory. And what did Bull Connor do? Beat the piss out of him. And that video got all over the world, and it pushed the civil rights agenda forward in the South. And here we are, getting beat by the police, killed. Killed by the police today. It's like a history of trying and no history of winning. Yo, you niggas in Philly mad about the Eagles losing. Let me tell you something else. Black people are losing. We've lost for damn how many years? Centuries of losing. You're depressed over the Eagles? You're Black. You've been playing a game and losing since the 1800s and giving it all you've got. That cat Eric Mays is giving it all he has. He's going to jail. He's fighting with the oppressors on the city council. Yell it. You still don't have the cop thing for me yet. Please, if you don't mind. Please.
Chief.
I don't
care. I don't care who's in
here. When they brought the police chief in front of the city council. Now, this time there's a scandal because, of course, like in every city, the police who have the roughest job and the most dangerous job, and we all have to support them because they put their lives on the line for us. They're getting oral sex in the back of the cop cars. Every night, all night, prostitutes in the back of the cop cars. And they're doing it in Flint, Michigan. Like they're doing it everywhere. In every city. You see that little oppressor's daughter, Mayak, who was a cop herself. She had sex with everybody on the police force. Yep. Everyone. Why? Let me hit you to something. Because that job is really not that dangerous. That job is boring. They're sitting all day doing nothing all night. When they go pull you over, they're deciding to do something. They're deciding to just make your little car a problem. So they send 100 cops down on your little car because of tinted windows. When if not for that, they're sitting all day doing nothing except for getting the best blowjobs in the world. Wrap it up. Let's see y'all. Yeah. That boy. Still in here, you know? Yes, sir. I heard y'all rumbling outside. I don't know what was going on. I said, I hope they still teaching. They ain't get to killing yet. We're going over to Flint, Michigan has another water issue. The pipes burst and the city said you got to boil all your water from now on. They're having more problems. and we're going over how there's a councilman, Eric Mays in Flint, Michigan, who's raising hell every council meeting, trying to do something about it. He's getting arrested every week, trying to solve a problem with man that only God can solve. He's on a list of a lot of good-hearted black people trying to get into politics, trying to solve this problem that it doesn't work. That God has to solve this problem. Play Commander GEN.YAHANNA, this last video with him. This is the chief of police. On top of the water problems, which will show you where the overall problem comes from, the police department is having more sex than a whore, than a French New Orleans den, than a New Orleans cat house.
That's the one that was sleeping with the whole fire.
Yes. No, not that one. That's a whole different one.
Oh, okay.
This is just another one.
This is another one.
Right? Well, the police department, they're performing oral sex with prostitutes in the car. It came out, and of course, this brother is in the council meeting trying to stop it. And he's on there. He got arrested like 4 times. The councilman.
And he's the
councilman.
And they locked
because
him
he
up 4
raises
times.
hell in there.
Because
he in there losing his damn mind, trying to solve this problem, but it can't be solved, my young.
He said, "You're nasty. You're nasty." They said, "Remove him. Point of order. Remove him." I'm not going nowhere. You're just nasty. They said, "You have to stop." I'll stop if she stopped being nasty. She's just nasty.
Damn.
He's trying his best.
Like, he don't understand that Esau is a robber baron.
Yeah, man.
The federal government just announced that they announced it to the public because the politicians, the local politicians, were selling the rights to that water to a private company. They was about, and here's the killer. The federal government gave them $600 million to fix the problem. They were hiring a private company that was going to take the $600 million supposedly to fix it and go ahead and steal that money too. They had, listen, and the federal government said that the reason they got in this jam is because they were stealing the money. And that's how the water got jammed up in the first place. So then they said, well, we're going to give you $600 million to fix the problem. Mariah, your dice here, right? You know the story, right? You pull that story up right quick. Oh, okay, the water. I think it was on the list last week, right? Or on Wednesday, maybe me and Mariah did on Wednesday. It was crazy. They messed up the water system. Then they gave them $600 million. They gave them $600 million. Then they turned around and they said, we're going to take over the whole water system now. And the federal government had to expose the damn story because they would have took over the water system and robbed black people again for another $600 million that came from the federal government. Like Esau has, since Donald Trump, Esau has stopped trying to hide his thievery. Yeah. It's now coming out clear, and it's beautiful. It comes out clear. I'm gonna add something to that. Somebody kill that heat back there if you know how to use it. Y'all good with that? Okay. That what's so beautiful about it is this: they stopped knowing how to. They stopped trying to hide how they steal. Starting from Donald Trump. Yeah. Now everything is they just don't give a damn no more. And as a result, it's all coming out. And what we seeing with this brother, there it is. And what we seeing with this brother is an example of a Christian who trying their hardest to be right and save the water for the babies. But they don't understand who is ruling the hell over them. It takes a minute. Once you shut it off, that takes a few minutes for the fan to shut down because it's on the roof. Okay. All right. Unable to access live. That means they ended it. Yeah. Just mentioned the water. We ain't say nothing this time. Yeah. Just mentioned the water. But hold off on that. Let's do the story right quick so I can get the brothers back where they was at. Oh, we still good? Okay, come on. The water. Go ahead, The water. It's crazy. Like now we find no, I'm good. The water. I got a thermos. The water. I appreciate it. Like now we know exactly what is going on with Esau and why we've been on the bottom. Like once again, man, Barakatah Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai for the I.S.U.P.K, for the Lord, for Yahweh Shai, for the angels, and for these amazing generals, captains, officers, troopers, sisters, babies. Thank the Lord for this family under Yahweh Shai, and here's why. because we were the only one. We were the only one that said, stop blaming black people. Are we not? Does anybody else say that? Nobody else say, stop blaming black people. None of this is their fault. We're the only ones that were the ones saying it because we reading it, one, in the scriptures. We seeing it every day in them scriptures. Like the Bible is the expert book on how to get out of slavery. And we see it, we read it, and then we examine it in real life and come to find out it's exactly what the Lord showed us. That this does not have nothing to do with this. We've long since left the days where we were participant in our own captivity. Them days been gone almost 100 years, at least 75 years. For the last 75 years, we were not in a position to self-destroy ourselves. Certainly before the 60s. Now, what happened? They brought the drugs in. They started starving us. Now I'm going to tell y'all something, a quiet thing that the East Indians are doing that you better watch for. They turning all the dollar stores into regular stores. The dollar store is the cornerstone of the ghetto. But them dollar stores, they getting ready to take off the dollar store sign, meaning they getting ready to break their policy where everything is $1. Most of them already did it. They flipping them over. And the prices is now getting up. They damn near cutting in the Walmart numbers now, which means everybody, all them elderly people you see in the morning going in the dollar store all across the country are no longer going to be able to go across the country because, of course, we're in the position for everybody to rob us. So therefore, they just rob us. And now finally, those Christians, those politicians, those suit-wearing, you need to pull your pants up off your behind, you need to keep your hands on the steering wheel when you get pulled over, learn how to talk to the, now you niggas ain't got nothing to say because they killing your sons now. Tyree Irvin was, not Tyree, what's his name? Tyree? Tyree. Oh, Nichols. Tyree Nichols wasn't no gangster. No. He wasn't no thug. He wasn't no drug dealer. That was a good neighborhood he was in. Those was manicured lawns, decent cribs. You understand? He got killed by the hands of the police because many reasons, but one of them is because this is the culture against God's chosen. Gather yourselves together, nation not desired. That's the culture. And what they did out here is the same. Read it for me, Yediah, please. Y'all here, check this out. Don't ever blame black people again for what is happening to them Latinos and Native Indians, man. This is a system of destruction. Go ahead,
Mississippi lawmakers trying to take over Mississippi lawmakers trying to take over Jackson Water Fund's federal manager warns.
Right. The federal manager, he's the manager that stepped in to fix him in the crisis. And he's saying to them, look, I'm in here to fix this, but they're getting ready to rob it again. They want to take it over. Go ahead.
Sir. The freeze of early 2021 wasn't the origin of the water system collapse in Jackson, Mississippi. The winter storm introduced the country to Jackson's aging and improperly maintained pipes and water plants.
And why were they improperly maintained? We all know. They steal it. They robbing and stealing. Like, that's what this is about. Slavery never ended. They robbing and stealing every which way but Sunday, including Sunday. Hell. Go ahead, Salaki.
Wakan, sir. Which failed and left residents without clean water for more than a month.
Right. Come on.
The crisis surged back in the summer of 2022, leaving residents without clean water for 2 months and drawing comparisons to the lead poisoning scandal in Flint, Michigan.
Destroyed the brothers and sisters out there. No water for 2 months. Black people, poor black people, 2 months, no water. That's hell on earth. That's hell on earth. And you dressed up in pretty yellow dresses on Sunday like everything is all right. What the hell is on your damn mind, man? This place is against us. This ain't the time to be singing on Sunday in church. This is the time to be lacing up your boots and preparing God's chosen people, man, for the destruction that's coming. You see them damn balloons coming over there. And they're about 4 deep this weekend alone. I said, well, God damn, Chinese disrespected. Go ahead,
Wakan, sir. Another banner example of America's ruinous infrastructure systems.
Come on.
As in Flint, the federal government stepped in November. The Department of Justice appointed a federal manager to take control of the merged utilities.
Tried to help them out. We're going to send in a manager. Come on with it, you die.
And less than a month later, Congress approved $600 million exclusively for the city's water system.
Just for the water system. Y'all go ahead and fix the water system. Go ahead.
It's already running up against the realities of local politics. It's like politics.
The local politicians who've been eating the guts of black people for years and years and years with their kickbacks and their contracts. Here they come. Soon as the $600 million landed in Mississippi, they was running to go steal that money too. I mean, the light is on them. You messed up the infrastructure. The water went down 2 months. We're going to give you $600 million. You think they'd be like, well, let's chill. Let them fix the water. We get back to stealing a little later. No, they want that money. Go ahead, Op. Real quick.
Reflecting historical tensions between Jackson and the rest of the state. For decades, state and city leaders have clashed over who should control local spending.
Who controlling the money? The money. Go ahead.
Services and infrastructure. Now both the federal manager and the city's mayor are warning that state politicians are attempting to take over Jackson's water system along with hundreds of millions in federal funds meant for repairing it.
They want to take it over now so they can go get that federal funds. Why? So they can help their cronies out and starve you to death. And that's why, man, it was so evil. All you Christian churches, you was evil as hell to turn around and tell us we wrong. We need to go get a job. Y'all remember on them streets. Y'all still catch it out there today. What y'all brothers doing? Even black people, black conscious group. What y'all niggas doing? Y'all just talking. Y'all just talking. We've been fixing black people's lives for decades, man. For decades. And thanks be to the Lord, we've been doing it because we finally got them out of that stupidity. A lot of you fake Israelites and a lot of you conscious community groups been running around with, got people running around in stupidity for 10, 15 stupid years, not building or fixing nothing or educating nobody or doing the damn thing to push back against the man that's been eating you alive. Thanks be to the Lord, man. We got brothers that's wake now. They're wide awake. They see what the Lord is doing. They see what's happening. They see the demise of all these nations on this earth. You understand? Here's another example. Now, this ain't nowhere. This ain't on a single black podcast. This ain't on no black YouTube channels. Go ahead, knock. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Jackson got the most in that state.
That's the blackest.
Like that's the
blackest city.
That's the blackest city in America. Could you imagine they robbing the money blind, and you telling me, honey, your problem is you need to cut the church. You need to see people in church and talk to people. You need to talk to people in church. Damn that, damn that. When is the church going to get up off their behind and recognize that they have failed black people? When you going to do that, man? When you going to recognize that you sat there while they robbed us to death? While they enslaved us a second time, man? Your own sons, you Christians in the church, your own sons and daughters are on drugs and in prison. And you still trying to kiss this man's behind and act like the solution is joining him, man. Every heathen, man. Listen, I always talk about it all the time. The Lord know how to make me jealous. Because, brother, these heathens, man, and I see what these heathens are doing. I see it so clear. And I see how much a victim you are. That's why I don't respect you niggas that talk all that crap. You ain't bad, nigga. You not bad. Everybody robbing you. You like the biggest dummy going down the street. You Mr. Tough Guy and everybody robbing you. You the toughest nigga going to jail that ain't built shit. That's right. Listening to that slave master, man. You got to respect me, nigga. Respect me, nigga. Whitey ain't got to respect you. I remember I was up in New York not too long ago. Some cat on the podcast talking, you better not come to Brooklyn. Telling me I better not come to Brooklyn. Like I won't level Brooklyn. You understand? I won't make the police go home in Brooklyn, nigga. You understand? Salakia. But meanwhile, Salakia, I go a little too far sometimes. Salakia. I'm just saying, man. When we gonna wake up and realize we playing games? While you talking tough, this man is raping this nation blind. Destroying this nation. They just came out with it. Oh man, I'm gonna go in my phone and get it for you. They just came out with it where, what state am I talking about, you die, where they came out and said how outside of St. Louis, you got that in the stories? Please pull that up for me so I can let the general see this. Outside of St. Louis, they said they have to investigate how many of these Black and Latino kids they giving these, what are they called, blockers? What do they call them? Hormone blockers. They say they giving them to these kids for anything. If they come in and say they feel depressed or sad or anything, they handed them the blockers. And they listen illegally against their parents' will, not concerned what age they are. I pray he pull this story up. Like now they're gonna do you in from the cradle. And here's the thing: the kids that turn around and say they don't want to be that of a sex no more, they still giving them the blockers, even though they're not. They still on the medication, still on the prescription. Like there is no bridle. You know what? We live a life that's no different than a gazelle that fell in a lion's pit. They run in, tear him apart, rip his legs off, rip his head off, eat every bit of his flesh to the bones, and when they finish, they walk off and the buzzards pick the last of his bones, and he's forgotten. That's you and I. That's these 12 tribes. Like, that's what these nations is doing up in here, man. Listen, if I could, last one, I'm gonna get up off it. Let me, you die and read the story. They have a doctor, this was about a year ago, though. Y'all probably heard about it. This was a doctor in New York City. He was in New York City. He was a drug addict, fentanyl, cocaine. But he was not a plastic surgeon, but a plastic reconstruction surgeon. Meaning you get in a car accident, crush your bones. This the cat that come in and fix your whole face back. And they said he was, top notch, like top 5 in the country. Bad, young cat, Edomite, fixing people's faces, but getting high. Smoked up all his money. Start selling the drug. He's a doctor. He starts selling the drugs and they get busted. They yank his license. No, you can't do that. Guess what he do? He go and open a bio-tissue clinic. He opened a bio-tissue clinic in Brooklyn, of course, in a poor Black neighborhood. And in the funeral home, he rents out the top of a funeral home. So you got a funeral home downstairs, you got a biotech company upstairs. He cuts a hole in the ceiling and creates a secret lift. You come in, you give the funeral home your people's body. He got a lift that come down in the funeral home. They slide the body on. The lift comes up to the biotech. In the biotech area, they got a whole surgery room, makeshift. They gonna take your people's body out, cut the body open. You can look this up if you want. And they was putting PVC pipe. They'll take out your femur and put in a piece of PVC pipe and tie it to the rest of your body and sew it back up. And then put your clothes on and send you back downstairs. And selling the tissue sample. Selling the sinews and the femurs and your feet. They had one cat, they x-rayed him. His legs, his lower torso, and his feet was PVC pipes. They did an x-ray off. The nigga was a plumbing case. It was sad as hell. Black people mad, raising hell out front. You can look this up. This is right on the internet. They mad. Oh my God, how can he do this? Meanwhile, he getting high. He's an Edomite. He's robbing and stealing. This is what he do. And they said he made $4.3 million. He made so much money, the mob came like, yo, how are you doing this? He said, let me show you. He brought the mob in, and him and the mobsters stole $4.3 million in body parts and was selling them all over the place. You gonna tell me Planned Parenthood ain't selling them fetuses' bodies? You gonna tell me that? You Christians make me sick. Your preacher's a disgusting piece of garbage. If he ain't got on laced up boots and in the street raising hell, then he's a clown and you're a fool for listening to that clown, man. It's insane what they doing out here to us. It's insane. It's on every level. It ain't just the cops killing us. It's on every level that you could think of. Y'all want to go more? Y'all want to jump off of it? Y'all let me know. Give me a little bit more of the story. And then you got to look at this thing one more time and you get a second. But go ahead, read a little. It's done, no sweat.
On TikTok? On what? We go on YouTube.
If I could, sir,
Please.
Officer Hadar sent me a text saying this weekend the I.S.U.P.K gonna be in Flint, Michigan, giving a food and clothing drive.
Most High in Christ.
Yeah, water and food drive, food. And also, they trying to set up an interview with that guy Mays too as well. You know what I mean? Yeah,
John. That's Officer Daryl. They're giving out. The UPK is giving out water.
Yes,
in Flint, Michigan.
While they stealing the
Shalom.
Yeah, right. Big shout out to Hadar, man. Brothers holding it down out there. Once again, man, you think you ain't no pioneer? You think you I.S.U.P.K cats ain't prophets of God? You think you ain't the Lord's last line of defense? You just keep your eye on the ball for about 2 more seconds and watch how they're going to come flooding in and needing your help. You understand? Like those of you that's willing to not put your sword down, those of you that's willing to make a name for yourself before the Lord in this body, under Yahushua, hold ground to what you committed yourself to. The Lord said he is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. And I'm living proof. You sow it, you will reap it, brother. You'll get a nation up under you to do whatever it is that you need to do, wherever you need to do it, man. And you'll get it done in this I.S.U.P.K. Keep holding that ground. Damn right. Go ahead, Salaki. We pretty much broke it down, right? That's pretty much done. Yeah, we can move on but now you had the other story, right? What was the other one? Hormone blockers. Yeah, please. Let's read it. Y'all good? Y'all good on that? Let's do that.
Missouri Attorney General calls for pause on puberty blocker medications for children. The Missouri Attorney General called on St. Louis Children's Hospital and Washington University to stop prescribing puberty blockers to new parents in a letter Friday. This comes after
new parents. New parents. That means infants.
Wow.
It's new parents. That means those are infants. So now what they're trying to do is get you to decide what sex you want the child to be. So then if you got a boy, if it's born a boy and you want a girl, they're going to start hitting them with the puberty blockers from the cradle. So they ain't going to never see no masculinity. Time they get a year, 2 years old, they're going to be as feminine as any little girl. They already prepubescent. I can never say that word, which means they haven't gone into puberty. So the testosterone ain't click on in the body yet to make them go into manhood. So now before they can even get to that, they're going to drug them up so they never get to that. And now you're going to have a completely feminine woman. Go ahead.
If I could, sir, that's why anyone who believes in women's rights and is pro-women, it's ridiculous to be for this because parents want little boys. If you can choose whether or not you have a little boy or a little girl, there will be no girls because every new parent wants a boy. And even the mother is disappointed when it's not a boy. And before you know it, there will be no girls because everyone is going to want a boy and they'll just make every little girl a boy and there'll be no girls.
And if I could, General, you just said something so heavy, just triggered something so heavy in my brain. Boy, oh boy, you triggered something so heavy in my brain. Like you said, every parent has their preference. But of course, a parent will take whatever they get, especially if it's healthy.
Yeah.
And it just hit me what you just said, how for you to want to change the sex of your infant baby, what kind of monster are you? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we all want a boy, but we would give way if it's a girl
because she's healthy.
Yes.
So we take a little beautiful daughter because she's healthy. But given the choice, we're going to get rid of girls. If girls are gone.
So if you could lose your conscience then you'll just make that little girl a boy.
Yeah.
From
the beginning. Now you got your son. And like everybody wants, and your wife wants to give you a son. And this is every race. Every race wants a boy.
God damn.
A girl you take because God gave it to you.
That's right.
But what's going to happen is no more girls because all parents want boys. So congratulations, women's groups. You're going to get rid of women.
That's right. That's so right. Like, it's demonic. And it's just amazing to me because I'm thinking to myself, if I had a child, I got this newborn baby, would I want the doctor to dope this kid up to make sure it doesn't come out to be the sex that is born? I got to be Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I got to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's even worse, in my opinion, of course. That's damn near worse than the abortion clinic. At least you killed the little baby. Now you're gonna bring now you're gonna be Frankenstein and bring the monster along, man. You're gonna walk the monster in the woman's manhood. You're gonna dope the monster up and bring it all the way to term.
If you want to scare yourself, go Google how many parents, when they had their first child, wanted a boy.
Yes.
Oh, that number is gonna be bad.
Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna be a bad number.
Listen, and you giving the choice to somebody who, in many cases, 350,000 cases a year, will kill the baby. Yeah. So they got no problem doping up the. Listen, I'm going home.
If I could,
I've
sir,
been in here
what
too
happened?
I'm leaving.
If I could, sir, what happened in China?
Yes,
girls disappeared.
That's right.
There were no girls.
They had to stop the practice
because when they only could have one child, they aborted the girl. And before you know it, they had to stop it because nobody wants a girl.
Right.
If you can only have one baby, you're having a boy. In China, they had no girls. Google it. They had to change the law. So if you say, well, you can make the baby whatever you want, I know what you're gonna pick.
Yes.
So how do women's groups not fight this?
Right.
They're not gonna pick a girl. They're gonna get rid of every girl, just like they did in China 2 years ago.
Like, just all I ask is just don't ask me to do nothing. Don't ask me to do nothing. Don't ask me to try to reason and understand nothing with you, because y'all crazy out there. Y'all are psychosomatic nutcases out there, and the doctors is just as damn crazy. You understand? Like, I'm better off listening to a wino in the gutter. I might as well go to if I need counsel and I can't get in an I.S.U.P.K, I'm going to the bar. I'm gonna go into the old head in the bar. I'm just sitting next to him. I'm gonna buy him shots. Leon, he knows. Just buy Leon shots all night. Ask him about the life, because he gonna have more sense than this damn doctor over here that's giving these babies these doctors. Now, don't nobody go get drunk with Leon. No.
They say,
buy Leon a drink and roll. It's crazy, man. Go ahead, Murad Salaki. This is crazy talk. Yeah, man.
So I had the story. That was it.
Which one?
On China about the lack of females.
Please.
Kind of one, sir. We had no choice. China's one-child policy and the millions of missing girls. If I may, I'm gonna keep going.
Boom.
An estimated 20 million baby girls went missing from the population between 1980 and 2010 due to the preference for boys.
How many?
20 million baby girls went missing from the population between 1980 and 2010 due to the preference for boys.
That mean black people gonna be wiped off the face of the map, because it ain't 20 million of you. Like, that tribe is gone. Pack Judah up, save one, take some baby to the mountains so the tribe ain't wiped out, and hide him up in the mountains with a different identity, because 20 million, they're going to wipe out tribes behind this. You already killed them in the abortion clinics. You're going to wipe them out now. That's insane.
Like, at one time, like you said earlier, they was called mad scientists.
That's what they
know what I'm saying? And now it's normal. Like, being a mad scientist is normal. It got to be something intellectually flawed with the society to put your baby through that, knowing these chemicals and these different things that ain't natural. So it's going to have to get tweaked at a certain amount of time, maybe 6 months, tweak the little lady. You're gonna be tweaking this little monster every now and then to keep it on this path because of your selfishness.
Yes.
You understand?
Can I explain it if you don't mind,
Please.
sir? There's a news story that's very popular right down the news. It explains all of this. Why a parent would ever do this to their child. There's a sister who was molested as a child. This is a famous news story. When I say it, everybody will know what I'm talking about. She was molested as a child, and she had 3 children, and she murdered her children because one of her children, she believed, was looking at one of the children in a sexual way. And so she forced her oldest child, which was like 6, to murder the other children. And she killed her children. This is in the news, Maram, so you can find it. She murdered her children. And in court, she says, I'm not ashamed. I'm not sad that I did it. I would do it again because I was molested. And when I saw how my daughter looked at my son or my son looked at my daughter, I drowned him in the bathtub. And she killed all of her kids. It was all over the news. And people are always going, how could a mother do this to her children? When you are traumatized, you're going to traumatize someone else. That's how it works. And when you get parents that you break from being here because of child molestation, because of being devastated as children, they're going to give sexual blockers to their kids. They're going to do it. Now, to you, you look at it like, how could you? No, they can because of what happened to them. And these parents who have been molested, who have been hurt, they're going to sexually block their children. You know why? Because I was a girl and I was raped. I want my son to be strong. I don't want a girl because girls get raped by their uncles when at the birthday party. You know what I'm having? A strong boy who can fight, who can do this. I was a boy and, my father was cruel to me. I'm having a little girl because they're not cruel. And I'm having a girl. Parents will put their traumas on their children. They're going to always do it. To leave it up to them is sick because you leave it up to the parent, but you have nothing in place to make sure the parent isn't sick.
Yes.
The parent isn't molested. The parent isn't flawed and broken from their childhood.
Right.
And that's her. Play this video for Commander GEN.YAHANNA if you could, sir, if you don't mind.
Please, get down.
What's Wayne County? Shit, I knew you was gonna say
that old Detroit, St. Louis area.
This is Flint, Michigan.
Yes.
The one you just talked about.
Yeah.
What's the one you just said with the stealing?
Mississippi.
Jackson, Mississippi. And of course, say it again.
Detroit and St. Louis too.
Oh, geez.
St. Louis is where they put the super abortion clinic at, right outside of St. Louis. Same place they doing this thing at. It's crazy.
Please
go ahead.
Please.
That definitely did happen to me.
Can you talk me through the type of abuse that you had to suffer as a kid?
You mean sexual abuse?
If that's what happened?
That definitely did happen to me. That's why I know exactly how would have grew up. I told my mother what happened to me. And the only thing she said was, it's over with, so what the you want me to do about it? What you mean what I want you to do? You get what I'm saying? So all I could do is go back and sit in my room and just sit there and look stupid. I'm a kid. And I'm just...
It's a lot.
This
is a good tape too.
Can we play this?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just telling you what happened to me. You didn't do about it. And plus, I still had to see the person coming in and out my house. You still friends with that person.
So do you believe that the violent person you went on to become you were a product of your own childhood?
I mean, everybody have choices. So I can't just blame all that on my mom because I was still an adult. Maybe I should have tried hard to get over that. But anybody who knows me, that touching the kids, the molesting, that no. If that's one thing I definitely would have killed over, it would.
How her children would, so she killed them. So she killed them. So now, ask the parent to choose the sex of their child. Go ahead, ask them. You might want to ask them if they've been molested, if they've been raped, about their child.
Of course, they ain't asking them none of them questions.
No, they're not, sir.
Come on.
No, they're not.
Insane. You right, you so right.
I was gonna say, General, what you bringing out is just so heavy. I was telling all some Marah. If you go back early in the 2000s when Trayvon Martin was murdered, there was a poster on Ebony, magazine with Dwayne Wade, and if you notice, the child in the middle, it says "Save Our Son Zaire and Zion." This is also around the same time he got with Gabrielle Union. When Gabrielle Union was a teenager, she was raped.
There you go. So she's a monster now.
Okay, and you're years away from Dwayne Wade transitioning into a woman.
That's right.
Just remember that.
That's right. He'll be
From
the
him,
next
from
Kylie
him doing
Jenner.
what's that man, the Olympic javelin thrower, and Bruce Jenner.
Right.
We're a few years
From-
away from him going Caitlyn Jenner. Just remember, just save the tape.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Listen, you're right. Because, of course, Gabrielle Union can't have any masculinity in the building.
No.
Any inkling of masculinity reminds her of that rape. Right or wrong, not. So it's going to be the same thing. Katham got a good point here. Big shout out to General Katham Gabar. He said that means homosexual couples who adopt newborn babies have power to choose a baby's sexual preference. Oh, my God. They done found a way to turn it into a complete procreation of twisted sexual beings, totally against the Most High in Christ.
And the money that these plastic surgeons are about to make, she and Monique Christ is like striking gold. Like it's like they're gonna have government-funded plastic surgery, which I can't even explain how much money that is. It's like whoever put seat belts in cars before the government mandate, and then one day the government said every car had to have a seat belt. Brother, you're on a yacht in the Maldives. Right. They're about if you're in school for plastic surgery, the government is about to pay for sex change, for gender reassignment, and everybody has the money. The government is paying for it, so they know not paying.
Ain't no not
it's
no
like
money.
Seatbelts on the car,
Right?
Everybody has them.
Yeah.
It's just you're printing money.
Yo, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. And that sister right there is, she's a nightmare. She saw that and murdered somebody, which it was going to eventually happen because she's in the.
Can you talk me through?
And it's amazing how Esau knows this, and he knows the solution to this. He's been doing it for years. He's got therapists and all that, but he's now removing them because the money is too good. They said that gender reassignment is crazy good money. I heard they getting 60, 80,000 for them surgeries. A regular, knee surgery or arm surgery could run 60, 70,000. That stuff starts at around 60,000. So that means,
And the reassignment, that's changing the rod to the vagina.
Oh, forget about it. That's 100 G's. Yeah. That's 100 G's when you get to the surgery. It's still 2 years of drugs and therapy sessions and maintenance. So by the time they get finished, they done clock $250,000, $500,000 off of you. That like Muhammad brought out that the government pays for, just like you saying, And that could you imagine how long that surgery must be to reassign your genitals? That's like changing a knot. Get me right on. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And once again, get me right on this. Everybody experiments on us.
Yes, sir.
Like it always starts with experimenting on us. And you telling me to listen to anybody? Anybody? Nah, man. I'm gonna listen to what these scriptures are saying. You understand? I ain't going by nothing. Nobody saying none of that. I'm going by these scriptures, man. I'm gonna stick with the Most High to the end. And why not? Because surely nobody else got a better plan. I ain't seen or heard a plan that could fix this. The only plan everybody got is to ignore this. That's the real plan. The real plan is the old saying, you can't fix them, join them. That's what most of you want to do. Most of you, that's why Jay-Z and stuff like that is more popular than what we're talking about right here. It's more popular because that's really where everybody want to go. Everybody want enough money to not have to think about the suffering that the Lord's people are suffering. But you don't understand Christ. Christ is looking for the ones that do. Get me sigh and cry for the abominations that be done in. Please get that for me. You understand? Like this is who Christ's looking for. These brothers and sisters right here. And that's why, let me tell you, in this time right now, with them balloons coming over the United States and they messing up their meetings with China, they trying to meet with China because, of course, China got their hand on the economics of the U.S. If the China pull back, everything in the United States will go up 3 times the price. They will bury the average American. So they in a battle over that.
And so now they trying to negotiate, but they getting emboldened with their negotiation because they got weapons and power also. So it's going the way it's going. So if you ever held on and took this truth, that's why everybody come out April 1st. Man, fight to get out there and be among us, man, April 1st. You understand? Come be among us, man. Them stories, man, that stuff them brothers is getting ready to put down on that slave plantation. You ain't seen none of what they getting ready to put down. All of that is important, and it is important that we be together. It's important. The Lord called for this Passover every year. This is important, man. It's important that we build on these like minds because everything is working against the mindset that's in you and your family and your children. Everything is going against it. You're up under all types of attacks that, we just hitting the surface of it. You know what I'm saying? My team, between all the brothers and sisters that bring me stories about what's going on, do you know that the stories that come into me are enough stories to stay on this air 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Like if I was capable, I could just stay on the air and talk about all the stuff they doing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I never run out of material. That's how bad it is out here. You understand? And with that being on the table, if we don't recognize like Christ, and I see not more and more as I'm growing, we all still growing in this truth. As I'm growing more and more, I understand Christ's worry. Like Christ had the power. Christ had the solution. Christ gave us the direction. He even had the 12 that the Lord gave. But Christ was still worried. Before he left, he praying to the Lord. I pray for them. I pray not for the world. I pray for those you gave me. Watch over thee. He was still worried. He was still concerned. And let me tell you something, man. Men of God, that's the spirit that got to be inside you to be a real man of God. This nation got to be important to you, man, as it is to Christ, because it is the future of our world. Without it, we got no world. Without it, we got nothing. Christ knew it too. He knew he can go up on this cross. He even prayed even after he went on the cross and came back. He was still worried about us. And here's the thing. He know that all these thousands of years of legacy, man, from the days of Adam, that all this would be wasted if they're allowed to destroy this nation. They're not allowed. Excuse me. And now is most particularly important. Why? Because we in the last captivity. This is where a man must shine and show his light. This is where a man must stand with the Most High. This is when, let me tell you something. This is the time where you start to lose reasoning. Don't be reasonable no more. They ain't being reasonable. They out of control. You got to stop being reasonable. Stop being reasonable about your life. Christ said, take no thought for your life. Stop being reasonable. Be unreasonable about trying to push this truth forward and standing in this truth. Be unreasonable. Be unpredictable. You understand? Do stuff when it hits you. I'm going to call this brother up, man. I'm going to go take this brother out to lunch. Do it. I'm going to go down there. I don't usually make this camp, but I'm going to go down to this camp. I've been wanting to go check out that. I'm going over there. Do it. Do it. You know what I'm saying? My spirit feeling a little down. I think I'm going to class tonight. Do it. I ain't taught a class in a while, man. Let me get on over there and teach a class. Do it. Do it. Do it now. You understand? Strengthen this body that Christ gave us. You know what I mean? And understand the value of it. They're giving blockers to our babies. This is everything to us, man. You understand? Do it. Do it like it need to be done, man. Everybody be in the every Hebrew Israelite is ordered to be in that building unless given an excuse by General Muhammad, General Haas, and the other generals, you to be in the building April 1st out in North Carolina. It is, we need to see your face. We need to see your face out. We want to see your baby's face. You understand? I'm going to see if I can get the newborn babies all to come. I don't know if we can do it, but there's so many newborn babies in the truth. I can't wait to see them all. Big shout out to everybody that had a wonderful baby this year, man. I saw so many brothers and sisters had wonderful babies. So many sisters pregnant about to have babies, man. You understand? A lot of accomplishments in this truth, new camps,
So many people got college degrees. Big shout out to General Muhammad, General Mayak, all that teaching y'all doing, man. Haas, and all the other generals and captains and all that. You know what I'm saying? So much has been accomplished. You niggas that been wondering what we doing, come see what we are doing. Okay? We going to the convention center. Come see the body of Christ. Stop listening to fake Israelites, man. You understand? A lot of people hate us. They hate my guts. I don't miss a beat at night. I snore like a dragon. My wife tell me when I get a cold, I snore like a tyrannosaurus. I catch a cold, she leave the room, she sleep in the other room, because I'm in there. I wake up fresh in the morning. You understand? I got a specialty coffee. I found a new coffee. Oh, shit. It's coffee with almond milk and chocolate. Oh shit! It's some old, and it stay cold. It's that I don't even care if it's cold or hot outside. I get up in the morning. I go downstairs, get that coffee. You niggas think you make me lose some sleep? Nigga, please. I'm sleeping like a no, I wake up in the morning, twist up. Twist up. Forget about my grands is over there. Oh, Lord. I'm a mess. Okay? Stick with the Most High, man. Let's get it done. I'm going to get up off of y'all. Let's get into it. Which one you holding? You was holding one. Okay, go ahead.
Wakan.
And we still holding one more story? Are we still holding the story? Oh, no, we did the story on the blockers. Okay, my bad. Go ahead. Salah.
Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations.
In the midst thereof, right? Or all the abominations. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Go ahead.
Wakan, sir. Wakan. And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
That's a special dude. That's a special, like that brother we mentioned earlier that was in the city council that's in there angry at him. He just don't have the knowledge, but he got the right spirit. If he just would wake up to the truth and put off the whole idea that you got to have a suit and tie and be a Christian to come into the body of Christ. You understand, when Christ went out in the highways and byways, if he can get past that, learn the truth, then he could really go forward in learning what it's going to take to fix this nation and to fix the Lord's 12 tribes. But those brothers that have that spirit, that's the spirit you're supposed to be. That's where your zeal should be at. That's where your earnest can be. A lot of you out there in these fake Israelite groups and these conscious communities, you got all kind of other agendas, and you swear your agendas is going somewhere. The whole goddamn empire is falling. And you sitting up there on some stupid sideline agenda. You better figure it out quick, because in a minute, this entire nation is going to need each other. And because of the great, great work that's been laid down in here since 1969, right on up to now, with all these generals, captains, officers, troopers, and sisters, and the babies, hell, because of what's laid down, you're going to see a nation do what nobody else could do. And here's the thing. The Lord said, no man shall buy you. You go ahead and join these religions of these different nations. Go join the religions of your slave master. Go ahead. Like the Lord said in them scriptures, man. You understand? Where are thy lovers at? You understand? Go now to thy lovers and see if they shall save you. You better return to the Most High, man. This is that time. You know what I mean? Build that nation, man, because it's all going out the window. They sending the balloons up. You know what's coming next. Somebody gonna mess up. Go ahead, Salakia. I ran on you a second, Salakia. Go ahead, you die. Jump back in.
Verse 5. And to all the others, he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite, and let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
The Lord ain't gonna have pity on us. You keep doing the evil you doing. You hearing the prophets. Everybody's hearing us. What they did down there at them Grammys the other day, set up that whole satanic Last Supper with Jay-Z and them, with the candlesticks and the fruit coming off, and then had the nerve to have an Arab do the singing. God did. You understand? You had an Arab do it. Like, you got no morals, man. You got no sense of righteousness. You have no sense of coming together in the body. You're like a selfish, greedy pig.
that no man could deal with. And after a while, the Lord ain't gonna deal with you. And He's gonna start bringing on you what you deserve. Like he just said, He's gonna bring it to you. And you're gonna wonder where it came from. Scripture said, they shall be eating and drinking and then shall the end come. That's how it's going down. And we at that time. So lock it, y'all. Let me get up off it. Go ahead, you guys. Let you finish it. I mean, you know, I'll say this. Rihanna kept her clothes on. As far as I'm concerned, we won. Big shout out to Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you was San Francisco or you was Philly or whatever. You understand? But as far as I'm concerned, last night, some little girl didn't learn the horrible lesson of how to be a butt-shaking hoe. You understand? So for that, I give it to Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? She showed her little baby, that, you know what I mean? Showed them sisters they could have their babies. So that's 2 wins right there. You understand? You know, I was a little concerned with them dudes in them white suits. Was a little on the border there. I ain't all the way right with that. It looked like it was halter tops to me, but hey, you know, I wasn't sure. You know what I'm saying? But at least somebody gives a damn about some morality. You understand? At least somebody, you know what I'm saying, cares a little bit about shifting things, Salakia, in the right direction. Millions and millions of Black and Latino kids watching the Super Bowl with their parents in their parents' arms, and at least they don't have to see some naked woman teach them how to be a twerking ass piece of garbage. You understand? And she's still a billionaire, I heard, right? Isn't she like a billionaire? Yeah. She's a billionaire and didn't have to take it. Now, I don't know if she's done it in the past or whatever, but at least that night she did not. You know what I'm saying?
For you young brothers that don't know, one year Janet Jackson came out and flopped out a whole breast.
Yep, gave a whole titty up to the world.
Flopped out the left one.
Yeah. Everybody over 60 had a heart attack.
So Rihanna, you know, she was wonderful.
Yeah.
Janet Jackson flopped out a lefty out there. One Super Bowl.
Right. Niggas faking.
The lefty came out.
That was like the queen took a breast out. You know what I'm saying? That was like, you know, that was like the princess of the kingdom popped the titty out. Niggas just Look at this.
On the alternative, that's one of the members of the Eagles. That's how he came out there.
Imagine that.
He came out there in a full church dress and lost.
Yeah, he's an actual player.
That's how he came dressed to the Super Bowl before he put on his football gear.
Get out of here.
In that auntie dress.
A lot of them come and make a fashion statement.
Yeah, this is fashion. That looked like somebody gonna get their ass whooped in the Super Bowl.
And lost.
And lost.
I guess so.
He walked in ready to lose.
Like that's motivation. That's motivation for the other team. You be like, ain't no faggot gonna beat me.
Hell no. He ain't beating you.
You know what I mean?
He walked in dressed for a funeral. He walked in for some auntie. He walked in like a grandmama dressed for a funeral.
Like what a joke. What a clown. Like,
and if you other people in men in dresses and
yes,
whatever that's going on, which I suspect all of this dresses thing that's been going on the last 5 years.
Gerald, you called it early. You called it early. Now I'll let you go on and drop it.
I don't want to say it, but
say it.
I do recall that you were going to have to make everyone think you were gay to succeed. You were going to have to do it. Drop it that hole while y'all was shy.
Come on, man.
And here's the saddest part about this. These men are not gay.
Right.
And that's more sad.
Damn.
And let me tell you something if you're out there from the alternative lifestyle LGBT community. Why aren't you offended at straight men acting like they're gay?
Damn.
If you were a black man and a white man dressed up in blackface, you would be offended by that.
Yes, you would.
If a white man put black paint on his face and said, "Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, nigga," black people would be offended at a white man wearing blackface.
Yes, they would.
Why aren't gay people offended at straight men acting gay?
Damn.
Why aren't they offended at that? This is a slur. Straight men dressing like they're gay. There are men wearing dresses and blouses who are not gay,
Yeah.
who don't have sex with women. They don't, I mean, other men.
That's right.
A$AP Rocky, he dressed up in a dress, didn't he? Who else? Young Thug. Who else? Give me the names. Uzi Vert. What's the one that was on the Love and Hip Hops? Young Jock. Young Jock. These men are not gay, but they dress up in dresses and dress like gay men. You real gays aren't offended by this. Aren't they appropriating your culture?
Damn.
Aren't they? Isn't that just like wearing blackface? Why do you accept this? Them mocking you and pretending to be gay. Why? Because they get gain from it. They're going to get more money, steal jobs from gay people, steal attention that gay men should have. You're not upset about that? Let me tell you something, gay people. They're using you. They're playing you. They're manipulating you. And you've been molested when you were a child. And now, because you were molested, everyone gets to fake being gay and get rich. Well, you know what you're going to be? In Hollywood, sleeping under a bridge, performing sex with people for money. That's what, and Kai, what's that Jenner? The Jenner man, what's his name? What's the gay name? Caitlyn Jenner is going to make the front of magazines. So that's why we cut off. That's why we're on nothing and get nothing. That's the problem, sir. My apologies. That's why we're on no social media. Because I don't have a vocabulary yet. But all this school.
Y'all be trying it, but
I'm trying my damnness.
You can't make the point because there's too many acronyms.
Jesus Christ.
It's too many pronouns. You trying to fit in and stay in the line. Go ahead and knock that out.
Go ahead.
You need to get that mic back there too so they can hear you.
A lot of black people in Philadelphia and any other city, they wear dresses at some point in time too.
Juju Shite, what's his name? Yeah, pull his picture up.
He wore one too.
I
mean, you're not offended by it? That should be offensive because these men are not gay. They haven't been molested like you. They haven't been raped by their uncle like you. They're not going to. Caitlyn Jenner will not have to be a male prostitute for money on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
He's going to be rich pretending to be you. And guess what? Caitlyn Jenner is not gay either.
You sure?
Caitlyn Jenner has a woman.
You sure?
Has a woman that she's with.
He laying more pipe than Rose.
Yeah, he is having sex with all the girls in Hollywood. You know, you as a gay person, you're never going to be angry at this. You were molested and raped as a child, and you perform sex for money in Hollywood. You're not upset about this. You need help, and America will never help you because they want to profit off of you. Salaki, sir.
Wait,
Sloggy, sir. This is the picture of Juju Schuster. He's the NFL player, right? But also,
what team was he on?
The Chiefs. So he wore a dress as well. But Sloggy, sir. But also, if I may, A$AP Rocky, which y'all was just going into. A$AP Rocky, that's who Rihanna is pregnant by, if I may. And he wore a dress. If I could, I got his picture up.
So you know he ain't gay.
He ain't gay.
Yeah.
But he's gonna make money from this.
Right.
This is him and Rihanna right here together. And then this is him in the dress. So
somebody said they call them beards. But make me understand that. What is a beard? A beard is a woman who pretends to be a gay man's wife so he can pretend he's straight, which was a thing at times past. Rock Hudson had one.
Yep, a lot of
people had one. John Travolta, who's a famous now gay man, but he had a woman pretending to be his wife because back then you had to pretend to be straight. These men are wearing the dress to pretend to be gay. They're not gay. They have wives and they don't have sex with men. That cat Bad Bunny kissed the man on the last year's Grammys. He's not gay, but he made so many millions from kissing a man on TV. It's like reverse. So you got to damn near switch your brain to think which one makes you money. That's the one you are pretending to be, but you're not really that thing.
That's psycho, man. All right.
We can look at the spirit of this kingdom. Oh, if we can pull all our the spiritual eye and see the spirits in this kingdom, man, we see ghoulies and just monsters and creatures and it'd be disgusting.
Damn right, John.
Yeah,
All right, we got room for one more.
Philadelphia high school students under investigation over blackface video, including racist taunts. A group of white students in Philadelphia is under investigation, and some are facing expulsion after a viral video sent to black classmates appeared to show them spray painting their faces black and spewing derogatory remarks about black stereotypes and Black History Month.
This is a famous story, man. This is everywhere. That's the play the video for the journal, please. This became to be a national story, sir, because people were shocked that black people were still being treated like it was in the 1950s and 40s. Like Al Jolson in the 1920s. Al Jolson was the first pop star. It was in the 1930s. It was right after blackface, a minstrel show. Minstrel shows went on before movies, before talking movies, and Al Jolson was the first pop star ever, and he performed in blackface. And it's been something over the years that people always did, and here we are after the civil rights, after the marching, after all of the achievements, and they still doing. They did it last week. They did this last week, sir.
Like
nothing. All of the achievements. Something from the 20s.
Jeez.
Something Shirley Temple did. Goddamn, I'm going back now, sir.
Damn.
That's like the 30s. That's like 1939. And people thought, we've moved on from them. We've made so much achievement. This happened in Philly last week. Right? Because unlike, let me tell you something that Martin Luther King will never tell you. You can't change what made America successful in the first place. Like you want to take something out of the American culture that if it was never in the American culture, America would have never existed. You can't remove it, because if you remove hatred for black people and Hispanics, you don't get America. What happens if you don't get America? You don't get the United States Navy. You don't get football. You don't get hot dogs. You don't get basketball. You don't get apple pie on the 4th of July. You don't get things that people like. So no one is getting rid of the hatred of black people, the hatred of Hispanics, because you don't have all the good stuff it gave you.
You don't get the NFL.
Shalom. You don't get the Super Bowl if you don't hate black people. Right. So as you try to rip it out of their minds, they know what comes with it.
That's right.
Super Bowl comes with it.
They know what side their bread was butter on. They know how they got here. They know what they ate every morning to get here.
Jesus.
They ain't trying to lose that. The question is, are we gonna keep eating? Sure. We need to stop eating it. That's the real question. Can we end it? And ending it means returning back to the Most High. That's what ending it is. Ending it is we give up what we believe we have here, and we go and build Christ's kingdom, so that we will have something greater both here and when he returns. That's how we get past this, man. Like, it's time for a new awakening of us as a people, man.
Yeah, right.
It's a very, very important time. You know what I'm saying? Come on. So we got 2 minutes, y'all. Y'all want to try one more?
Which one you want?
Anyone y'all like?
And then if I could, real fast,
Come on,
they act
man.
like the Catholic Church and the Catholic school system are not racist. Like, they're not, anti against black people.
Right.
I went there for a year, and them brothers in that school were racist as hell. My first experience in that was in the Catholic school system. And then when I went to East Hawk military.
I mean, they were electrocuting us.
Yeah.
I mean, electric chairs. They had their own private electric chair. Amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And brother, you go out to them reservations out in the Midwest, brother. There's a reason ain't no people living in the Midwest. I mean, go ahead, Knock.
So when you pay a Catholic school, they pay money back to the Catholic Church, and all that money goes to the Vatican?
All the money really comes from the Vatican. The majority of the Vatican's money comes from land, believe it or not. They're one of the biggest landowners in the world, is the Vatican. And they use that land in so many ways to raise so much money for them Roman Catholic churches. And they got sovereignty because they're a government of their own. And they use that wealth and that money to open up all them organizations. That money that they got people paying them for you to go to Catholic school, that's peanuts compared to the money that they make. You listen, being in Philly, you see what they own up there on City Line Avenue. That St. Joseph University is one of the biggest universities in the world. It's like a city up there. And it's ever expanding. It's coming all the way down. Before you know it, it's going to be right down here, 63rd. They taking over. They buying up all this real estate all the way down the Penn. So they, you know, that's where they wealth come from. And that comes from years of stealing gold and diamonds. They were the ones behind the Crusades. They stole all that money. They were pillaging and robbing. They stole every quarter out of Central and South America. They still robbing them blind. I mean, they robbed the draws off of Central and South America. Them countries, you see some of the cathedrals and some of them churches they got down there. You've been down there, matter of fact, haven't you? So I know you've seen them giant. I mean, they got 18th century churches out there that'll blow these churches up here out the water. You wonder how the hell did they build this in the 18th century? That's how much wealth and money they was stealing and robbing and slaving from those brothers and sisters, that they was building that on their land. You go to Spain and England and see what they, and Rome, and see what they built there. That's how much cash they was robbing, you know what I'm saying, and stealing from the Lord's chosen people. So yeah, that money that they have you paying for, really that money is to keep a certain number of us out. That's to keep the thing from not get, because public school is so horrible. If the number was low enough, everybody be running in there, thinking that's a better place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they just have a certain number just to, you know, because they trying to educate white kids now. It ain't like before. Before they was letting them all in so they can molest them and rape them and kill them and ship them off to other parts of the world. But they a little more scrutiny on them now. So really now they just want, you know, little white kids. So they put a little money on it, you know what I'm saying?
Make it exclusive.
Yeah, to try to make it a little exclusivity for themselves. But they've been monsters, man. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And you know, if I could too, also.
By the way, they was one of the bankers for the Nazis. They bankrolled Adolf Hitler. You know what I'm saying? So Lockie, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we can't forget it. They the one that changed the image of Christ from being looking like us to them.
That's right.
They are the corporates that did that.
That's right. And did so much slaughtering to us in the turn of the century. You know what I mean? From the turn of the century, we really, just like we getting ready to do in this kingdom, we clashed. You was gonna say something, General? I'm sorry. Please. Go ahead.
You know, it's a documentary, man, where the Catholic Church used to take them Gadites, them early Gadites and settlers, and try to put them in them little schools and retrain them. And Gad would rebel and try to get back to their land or their tribe, and they'd kill a lot of them. And some of them would kill them nurses.
That's right. Electrocute them and all that shit. I mean, I saw the chair. You seen the chair?
I didn't see
brother, they got a chair up in British Columbia. It's like a little chair for like a kid. And it's a full-fledged electric chair. But it's like a children's chair. But it's a real electric chair. So they would take them little kids, put them in that chair, and electrocute them, kill them in an electric chair.
The Catholics were fervent believers in giving discipline to kids.
Right.
You know, them nuns beat you to death with a ruler,
yep,
electrocute you, and all of it was done. All of it was done to get you to behave, to be disciplined, because really you weren't being disciplined, and that's why you wanted to have long hair and to wear and to talk like a so-called North American Indian. But they were going to discipline your kids to make them better kids, and sometimes to discipline them, they had to electrocute you.
Right. Or molest you.
Or molest you.
Rape you.
Rape you, yeah.
Kill you.
It was all to get you to behave.
Get you to be better.
Yeah.
You know, get the animal out of you. What they used to say?
To kill the Indian, save the man.
Save the man. That was what it was for. You know,
that's the motto. That ain't a propaganda. That's their motto. kill the Indian, save the child.
And like you brought out, General Maya, they had whole. Sorry, did I touch you?
Please, no.
Like you brought out, General Maya. They had whole graveyards on them lands, whole graveyards from these kids, unmarked. Yeah. They dug them up, man, and it was thousands of bodies under these things. Like what's happened to us is so demoralizing. You need the Lord. Like the whole reason I.S.U.P.K. and you fake Israelites, the whole reason that you are so motivated now is because the Lord handed down to us these scriptures to reveal them to you. And now that when brothers study the Bible, once again, they was laughing at us. The Bible, nigga, please. Oh, really? Now you're gonna learn the Bible. You're gonna be willing to learn, because the scriptures is what motivates you when you're in captivity. Right. The scriptures is what puts the spirit of the Lord back in you to give you the strength to fix the situation that you in. Ain't nothing else fixing you out here. Ain't nothing fixing you out here but some weed and some fentanyl and some oxys and them type of things. Other than that, you ain't got no motivation, man. The church is crumbling. They ain't motivated. The Muslims, they tried to give you the Arabs. They did what they could do. You didn't join them. You went and left them and went and joined the Arabs. You understand? Like right now, Farrakhan is supposed to have tens of millions of black people that's supposed to be with him. But what did you do? You didn't stick with him. You instead went to the Arabs, which I can't blame you. You went to the source. Like, why go to the middleman when you can go to the source? The problem is we can't be going to the source when the source ain't the Most High. That's right. That's where our problem is. And so now we going to the source, which is where them scriptures is at. Even the Muslims need the scriptures to even teach what they teach. Yeah. And the same go for the church and everybody else. The Bible is the only book that comes from the Lord. It's the only true record. And that record has to be revealed by prophets. I.S.U.P.K, y'all. See y'all next time live in the UPK. Big shout out to the generals, man, the captains, all the brothers that join us tonight, man. Get it on. I'll see you Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, 9 o'clock, right here. America on fire. Get it on. April 1st, Mariah, take it away.
In Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now it's that time again. Commander General Yahanna is putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheridan in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the convention center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence, because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time sending curses to them